Hello everyone, this is Lolly. Welcome to my channel. I'm working on some more Disney crafting today, but this is going to be something that you can do for anything, and that is I made myself this Disney luggage tag. Now, I love the fact that it's double-sided paper, so that is something to consider when picking out your paper, if you don't mind it not being double-sided, because what happened was I was going to make some laminated luggage tags. And my husband needed a luggage tag, but he didn't want one because he doesn't like his address being shown just when he's strolling his suitcase, in the airport. I thought that's a really good idea. So I wanted to do a laminated one, but that had a flap on it. So someone would have to actually open it to look at your address. And so with these two laminated pieces are adhered by double-sided tape at the top. And all you have to do is to add a mailing label, which you could print out on your computer. You could put any information you want here. This is the Staples brand. And these address labels fit right in here, and you could fit two of them. You could change them out as your information changes. You can put whatever information you want on there, and that's what I like about it, is that it's changeable. You could put it on the paper before laminating, but then you can't change that information once it's written in there. So, in playing around, I made 3 of them. Here's another one. This is what the not double-sided paper looks like, and here's another one. And whether you use cardstock or just decorative paper is up to you. The cardstock is obviously thicker and less flexible than decorative paper. Okay, so what you need is your scraps of paper and any theme, and I love that this is Disney theme, but you can do any theme you want. You can have a different theme for every trip, and then you could take off this tag here, and this could go in your scrapbook. So just a thought there. I will give you a link down below to purchasing these. I got a set of these on Amazon, just these tags right here. Okay, so what you need to do is cut strips of paper. Align your images this way vertically, and then cut 2 3/4 inch of a strip down. And then once you have that, you need to cut, this is the 2 3/4 inch strip, you need to cut a 3 3/4 inch length and a 3 1/4. So 2 pieces of paper, both are 2 3/4 inches wide. This is 3 3/4 inch long, 3 1/4 inch long. And then when you turn them around, it gives you this cute little image there. You could also decorate the top, put a sticker on it. I would keep it flat though, since it is going to be going through the laminator, and I like to round those corners. Now, another thing, I'm going to show you 2 ways to make this, because there's obviously way more than one way, so don't get me wrong. Like I said, I like the clear part on the top here. But since I use double-sided sticky tape, you could tell that it is cloudy, and if that bothers you, there is another way to do it. So, for that way, and I'm going to demonstrate with Hello Kitty. Okay, this is decorative paper, not cardstock. So this is going to be floppier. I'm going to do one the regular way. And you could always back this and reinforce it on other paper, which would also take care of your double-sided paper dilemma. So I'm going to make one the traditional way, and then I'm going to make one the other way, in which the cardstock or the paper goes all the way up to the top. So you don't see the, as much anyway. You will still see some, but not as much of the cloudiness from the double-sided tape. Okay, let's get started. Oh, the dimensions on this one. Hello, Lolly. Still a 2 3/4 inch strip. Okay, but this one is 3 3/4, and this is 4 1/4, and that's the difference. And so I'm going to go ahead and round these. And the other thing we want to do is to lightly score this one, the shorter one, which is going to go on top. We're going to score it 1/2 inch down. Now, if this were cardstock, I would be scoring it a little more heavily. So again, this is the shorter one of the two, and I'm just going to score it 1/2 inch down. I'm doing it lightly since it's not really cardstock. I don't want to tear my paper. And that basically is just to give me an indication of where to go and to get it ready for scoring it once it's laminated. Okay, folks, we have these 3 sets here ready to go into my laminator. So I'm going to heat the laminator up. All right, that is heating up. So let's play with this. I've got my laminating sheet. It's the 3mm from Scotch brand. All right, I have some little gold fuzzies on here from my last project. So all these 2 here, not the longer version, these 2, which are the original style, when we put them on here, we need to make sure that we're leaving space to add a 1/2 inch, to keep a 1/2 inch of the lamination beyond it. So in other words, I wouldn't put these in the laminating that close together because I need to leave that room. So I'm going to put this in here. Sorry. And I'm going to make sure I leave a good 1/2 inch right up there, and I'm going to put this one behind it. I've got plenty of room to do that. I'm going to do that with the next one as well. Make sure there's room in between these for them to seal. And now these ones are longer, remember? These are the ones where we're going to have the cardstock all the way to the top there. And it's whatever style you like. So I don't need to leave anything more than just that basic 1-inch border around there. I think this one would fit better this way. I do wish I had Hello Kitty cardstock. This is paperweight, but it will still work for me. Okay, I see the green light has come on. We are ready to put this through with the folded, sealed side of the laminate first. Another hint, when you're doing heat lamination or even self-adhesive lamination is to remember to wash your hands first, because if you have oils on your hand, it might prevent some of the adhesion as it's going through there. So, okay, I'm going to speed this up now for you. Okay, so many people have asked me why I put it through twice. The bubbles that you get around it, you could probably see it. You see on the cardstock better than on the thin paper. It's the little air bubble that goes all the way around here. And so it tends to get better when you are running it through a second time. So I want to cut these. And I'm not going to worry about these ones right now. Let's cut these apart right down the middle. Okay, so let's play with this one. I'm going to cut it, hand cut. I could do it on a machine, but I'm going to hand cut, making sure that I cut around the air bubble so that I have a seal there. And I'm just going to cut straight like that. I'm going to cut along the bottom. Remember, I need to add extra on the top. Cut along the bottom. Okay, and I'll do the same to this one. Cut along the bottom. And cut along the 2 sides, but leave the top open for now. Yeah, this is the bottom. Okay. So what I want to do with those, I want that 1/2 inch flap on the top. So I'm going to take this, and I have found that if I line my cardstock up with the very edge of the metal piece here, then that is a 1/2 inch of acetate on the end there. Okay. And the other thing I want to do is to round my bottom corners on this before I put them together. Oops, yeah, that one's, no, I did this one upside down. Ah, shoot, I wanted to have the thing up here. So this one will be upside down when I put it in there, but that'll be okay. I'm going to go with it. The top flap is perfect, and that's what really matters. Okay, so what we're going to do is take the double-sided tape that's 1/2 inch, flip this over because I want Hello Kitty on the outsides, not on the insides. I'm going to take my double-sided tape and cover completely left to right that 1/2 inch spot right there. I'm going to move this so that I'm not getting double-sided tape on my board here. Okay. I'm going to line the paper up carefully and then allow the top edges to meet. And once I've done that, I can then go and trim those corners off. Okay, so we have this. We're going to do our holes, but first let's do this section too. Okay, so, and again, we'll do the holes all together. So let's work on this one right now. Okay, so this one I can cut evenly all the way around. Okay, now we've got this. I'm looking for the part that has the score line right there. And I'm going to score it again, because now I'm scoring the lamination. I'm just going to line this up to one of the spots here. There we go. Okay. And now when I do my tape, I'm going to put it across the very top here. Actually, I'm going to put it here above the score line. That's going to help me. So I have it on the back right where that score line is, and I can see. Okay, now, same thing, I'm going to line the papers up before I drop it into place. And because I scored it, I'm going to give it a little tug there. So now, although I have paper all the way to the top, you know, you do get a little bit of a creasing in the paper here. So you can see the difference here. Again, this one is cloudy at the top. If you want paper all the way up, that's the way to do that. So now we're going to work on getting the holes in there. Let me clean up. And like magic, it's all cleaned up. So I'm going to take a permanent marker, and I'm going to show you in larger format what this is going to look like. Let's assume that I'm going to put a hole right in here. And this is going to be the edge of my project here. I would lay it on my board here and find the middle and drew a dot. Now I know that this is not perfect. So once you get that dot, you're going to take a hole punch and you're going to punch on it to the right and on it to the left, like that. And then take a craft blade and connect those two. So that we have, it's sort of like a figure 8, and we're going to take the sides and make it smooth. But again, because I need my craft, I need to be able to see what I'm doing, I'm going to take that off and get my hole punch. And I am going to use this one, which is the, what does it say? 3/16 inch punch on that one. So the first thing, this is the marker I want to use for this. I'm going to lay this on my craft mat here in between my lines and find a spot there right in the middle. Now that I have that, I'm going to see if you can see that little dot right there. And I'm going to take the large punch and I'm going to punch to the right and to the left. And then I'm going to take my craft blade. Let's see if you can see those. I didn't make it too even. I'm just going to connect those two right there and pull out the stuff on the inside. And I'm going to do that to all these other ones here. This one I can't see through though, so I'm just kind of guessing where the middle is. Okay, now let's get our loops in there. Okay, so this is what it looks like, the bag of those ties. I'm just going to take one and feed it through the hole, and then wrap one end through the other. And you got an instant, I started to say bookmark. you got yourself a nice luggage tag, and all you have to do is add those sticky mailing labels on the inside. Okay, so now that I have these made, and I have all of them, they're all different in that some are cardstock, some are lightweight paper. I like the cardstock better. I think it's much more firm. This is lightweight paper. I like double-sided cardstock better than the single-sided, but that's personal preference. So obviously my favorite two are going to be these, the llama and this one, because they're both cardstock, they're both double-sided, but you gotta love Hello Kitty, right? And then to compare these two, one has the paper going all the way up to the top, one has the paper coming to here, and then the rest is that clear, although it is slightly cloudy from having double-sided tape in there. So it's all about your preference and which way you want to do it. And again, you can always decorate the front. If you have a really more of a plain front, you know, you could use a die cut and add a word there and then laminate it. Or you could put something, you could put your adhesive vinyl on these. Think about that, adhesive vinyl to make a word or your initial, and you can do that even after it's laminated. So thank you for watching. I think that this is going to be a really fun thing because I can make themed luggage tags for my trips that are upcoming. And what a fun way to celebrate your trip. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you look at the links down below, and I will give you links that you will need in order to get supplies to make these projects.